So we had to wait. Always wait. Wait for God to lead and provide, make a way for you. And I waited a while. I said, "Oh, honey," I said, "we have our egg." She said, how do you know?" I said, "Because I learned something when I was on the farm. I learned, when our hens would lay, they always sing a little song when they drop the egg. They have a little song. It doesn't last long, but you always know by that. Always think about what you can detect that'll be helpful. And little things, simple things, and witnessing and praying and kindness. There's a lot of things that will tell you what's going on, reveal itself to you. If you love, just like God told Dr. Carver, he said, "God, what is the earth?" And he said, "George, it's too big for you. Ask something more your size." So he prayed out there in the woods for how long, I don't know. And one day he got the courage up and he said, "Oh God, would you tell me what man is?" And the reply was, "George, it's too great for you. Ask something more your size." So he prayed on, and I don't know how long it was, and finally he picked up a cluster of peanuts. And he said, "God, what is this peanut? What is it?" And the Lord revealed to his heart that if he would love that peanut with all of his heart, as he loved God with all of his heart, God would reveal to him what a peanut is. And as he prayed, the Holy Spirit revealed to him of a precious oil in a peanut that he could extract, because he had to know the technique and the wonder of this. And he could go in and bring this oil out of the peanut and put it in a cup or a glass or a container, and then put it upon the body of those that had paralysis. And it would give them such soothing and such a pleasure of rest. He found how to make milk and raise cream. And he found how to prepare food. He could prepare many different things that taste like different foods. And when he was at the joint session of Congress, they gave him, they said 20 minutes. Well, he had them feeding out of his hand like little children. And he had that table set and had all these beautiful things he found in the peanut. Well, he found about 300 things in a peanut, didn't he? And he found 150 things in a sweet potato. And then he found plastic in soybeans. And God revealed to him what it was. One time he said to him, he said, "Come with me, I'm going to make the lost purple through you today." So he got a spade or a shovel, and the Holy Spirit led him out to the fields. And he'd go, I suppose, left a while, and then he'd go right a while, just follow as the Holy Spirit would lead. And when he got to a certain spot, he said, "Now dig right here." And he dug down about that far, and he got a clump of clay. It was, I don't know how big it was. It wasn't too big. And the Holy Spirit said, "Now, you take that clay to your laboratory, because I'm going to make the lost purple through you today." So he took it, and God told him what to put in, put this in, put that in. He put everything in. He told him. Someone said, "What did you put in?" He said, "I don't remember. Well, I didn't keep track of that." Wasn't any, see, he just, it's the lost purple. He's going to make it. He wasn't going to try to keep it. He's just going to do it and let the rest go. And he did. It was a wonderful thing, how God leads and guides and reveals. And I said, "Honey, the egg's out there in the woodhouse." She could, "Well, you know." She'd say, "How do you know?" She would wonder, "How do you know that egg's out there?" So I went out. I said, "I don't want to be in a hurry because I'll frighten her. So wait a little bit. Wait a while." And after I waited a while, I went out, and the hen was not frightened at me. Always go slowly. When you go into a room where your companion is, clear your throat before you get there. Don't just go in. They might be jumping. Or my mother, if I went in, she'd scream. And my wife's mother jumped right up like that. When I go in, even though I've been with my wife 2 minutes ago, she may not do that, but it alarms her. Always think how you can let people know so you don't bring distress on them. Don't play tricks on people. Don't joke with people. Don't tease the children. If you tease the children, you've brought damage. And you need to ask for forgiveness. Because a child, if he's teased, it does something to him. They just don't recover from it very easy. Think about what you need to do with those you're with so that it will be helpful and healing, and that through your spirit, Jesus working in you, they'll want what you have. And then you can lead them to Calvary. And they can find Jesus. So I went in the wood house, and there was that warm egg. And I got it in my hand. How do you suppose I felt seeing that egg there in that soft soil? She had broken her leg, habit. She had gone in there and answered my prayer. Now, see, that's a great thing. It is. It's a great thing because I didn't have any eggs. I didn't have money to buy eggs. And God provided. Great is His faithfulness. He's faithful to make a way. My wife said, we're out of bread. This is another place. She said, we don't have any food. We don't have any bread for our children. They're going to be home in 15 minutes. And I had 1 penny. And I'd been spending an hour or 2 or 3 a day in prayer and reading so many chapters in the Bible. That was back in 45. And so I said, Jesus, you know how to lead me and how to help me. So He took me out to that 41 Ford, green in color. I opened the door and there was a dime on the back floor. That made me 11 cents. That was enough to buy a loaf of bread. Faithful to help me get a loaf of bread. Faithful to get an egg so my wife could bake a cake. Just little things. The small things. Be faithful in the little things. Martha used to say to me when she was about 8 or 9, she says, Daddy, why are you so particular about these little things? And I said, well, you know, if I'm not careful about the little things, how can God trust me with anything? Or with a soul? Or with more? We have to be careful with the little things. And people may think, well, no, that's not important, but it is. It is. And being cautious of our behavior, our manner, and the way that we approach what we have to say, so that it will be exactly what God would have us to do in the little things, the lesser things, the things that seem like less than small. So we need to know about how to follow so that He can direct us to the goal.